Opening thoughts on the Brady Farkas Show are brought to you by Sticks and Stuff and Swanton Lumber, Vermont's most complete locally owned home center with locations in Enosburg, Derby, Swanton, Middlesex, and St. Albans, and online at sticksandstuff.com. So as it sits right now, the Patriots, again, have made 5 moves so far in free agency. So they have signed tight end Jonnu Smith, 4 years, $50 million, formerly of the Tennessee Titans. They have signed defensive back Jalen Mills, 4 years, $24 million, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles. They've signed linebacker edge hybrid player Matthew Judon, 4 years, $56 million, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens. They signed nose tackle Devin Godchaux, 2 years, $16 million, formerly of the Miami Dolphins. And they bring back defensive end Dietrich Wise, who was already on the Patriots. We don't know the details of that yet. For Smith and Judon, these are huge deals. Smith gets $50 million, Judon $56. They are now the highest paid skill and defensive players in Patriots team history. As I said at the outset, I feel so good right now about what the Patriots have done because this is what hope feels like for teams. For teams that did not have great years, this is Christmas morning. The Patriots have this day and this week to address all of the various holes on their roster even before the draft, and they have done a very good job at it right now, and the fan base is energized on it. They had money to spend, and they are spending it. And by the way, they broke the bank on the Judon and Smith deals, and they've been more judicious other places. The Jalen Mills deal has $9 million guaranteed. It looks big at $24 million, but it's only $9 million guaranteed. Jonnu Smith is where we're going to focus on today for a couple of reasons. One, because so far it's the only offensive move that the Patriots have made. So I love this move for a bunch of reasons. Number one, this move helps the Patriots get back to their roots. Okay, the Patriots have notoriously been at their best when they have good tight end play. Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski. When the Patriots have been really good, they've had great tight end play for the better part of the last decade and even a little bit before that as well. This helps them get back to their roots. And I was thinking about it. We spoke to Doug Flutie, former Pats quarterback, back in November. And here is what he told us about the importance of the tight end position to the Patriots.
I had never given any thought to that, but once he said it, it made sense to me. When the Patriots get in the red zone and the big body receiver is an asset, who do they go to? The tight end. They always had their two tight end system where they're working. They formation it where Gronk was the guy running the thing, or tight ends running the back line of the end zone. So the tight ends became their big body throws.
So Flutie tells us back in November of 2020 that the Patriots like to use the tight end in the red zone, and now they finally have a guy who they can go to in the red zone again. They haven't had it. Since Gronk left, they have not had anybody they can go to reliably in the red zone. It's awfully hard to find Julian Edelman and Jacoby Myers and James White and these undersized receivers and these undersized running backs. That's part of the reason why Cam had to run it in the red zone so much, because they don't have any big body targets to throw to. They finally have that now in Jonnu Smith. Smith had 8 touchdowns a year ago. Every single one of them, every one of his 8 touchdowns for Tennessee last year was had in the red zone. This is a great move. Pro Football Focus had him as the best receiving tight end in the red zone, and he had the second most touchdowns in the league in the red zone. But by the way, he's more than just a big body. He is more than just a big body. He is a big-time athlete, and the Patriots have needed that. He is among the fastest tight ends in the NFL. Next Gen Stats had him as the 3rd fastest in this position group over the last couple of years, behind only Darren Waller and Evan Ingram. So they get a guy who's physical enough to win a jump ball scenario, to win at the point of attack and win in the red zone. But they also get a guy who can beat you in space, something they haven't had in years, it seems like, here in New England. I mean, go down the YouTube rabbit hole. Go down the social media rabbit hole, and you will be inundated with videos of Jonnu Smith just outrunning people. And that's something that we haven't seen. We have implored the Patriots to get younger. They did that. Jonnu Smith is 25 years old. We have implored the Patriots to get more athletic. They did that by getting one of the fastest players in the league at his position. We've implored them at times to be more physical in the pass game, and they've got a guy who is now a bona fide red zone threat and a guy who's got a big catch radius. Look, I know Cam Newton isn't the most accurate quarterback, but if you put it near Jonnu Smith, he's going to catch it. He's also great after the catch. Catch and run ability with this guy is right there. They finally get a playmaker. And you know what? In about 25 minutes, I'll tell you why I really love this move for Cam Newton specifically. But for the team overall, younger, more athletic, can do things with the ball in space. And that's something the Patriots did not have. Last year, the Patriots were methodical. Death by 1,000 cuts. They had to be that way because they had no explosion. They finally have the explosion. This is a great start to day one of free agency. They've done a lot on defense, but the move that has my attention the most is the addition of Jonnu Smith at tight end, because they were so devoid of talent last year on the offensive side of things. Okay, and if this doesn't tell you what you need to know, like this is the only thing you need to hear. Last year, Jonnu Smith, 41 catches, 450 yards, 8 touchdowns. Okay, 41 catches last year is not a hugely high number. 41 for 450 and 8 scores. The last 2 years, Patriots tight ends, 55 catches, 3 touchdowns. Jonnu Smith's what you would consider to be an average productivity year in 2020, nearly better than the Pats' last 2 years combined from their tight ends. This is a huge upgrade. We've asked the Patriots to get weapons. They still need weapons in the draft. They still need weapons in free agency. But Jonnu Smith is a great addition to a group that had nothing. And Flutie told us back in November that the Patriots are at their best when their tight end is playing a significant role in the offense. I love the move to get Jonnu Smith. The Napa Waterbury and Napa Morrisville text line is open at 802-585-3026. An unnamed texter from Middlesex says, Brady, do you like the moves on defense? I know you like the Smith move. Do you like the moves on defense? I don't love all of them. Okay. I love the move for Judon. I like the move for Devin Godchaux. And I like bringing Dietrich Wise back. I could do without the Jalen Mills move, and I'm not quite sure what it means for Stephon Gilmore and J.C. Jackson. We'll learn that over the next couple of days. I don't love the Jalen Mills move, but I like that the Pats are – I said on Friday, the Patriots should draft offense this year, and they should sign defense with this money. I didn't think they'd spend as much on defense. I thought they could get more one-year guys, but evidently they're throwing money at defense. And Judon, we think, is a really good player, and Godchaux's not incredibly expensive. So I like them. Again, I could do without Mills, but they had holes everywhere. They had holes at pass rusher, holes defensive line play in general. They got gashed in the run game a lot last year by opponents. They needed to address the defense. I like that they're doing that. I love that they started on the offense. Now they need to go out and get a little bit more on offense as well. Also on the text line, Mark from Middlebury. Brady, where do you think the Pats can finish in the AFC as it sits right now? I am so optimistic about where the Patriots are right now. I still think they're in second place behind the Buffalo Bills, but I don't think that it's that far off right now. I think they're a true contender to win the division here as we sit on the first day of the legal tampering period. The opt-out guys are back on defense. Cam comes back another year in the system. It's an easier schedule for the Pats. I think this team is significantly better than a year ago, and we've seen huge building blocks towards the efforts to get them back to the top of the division being laid today. I think that this team has done a good job. They overspent on Jalen Mills. Again, I don't love that. But 4 out of 5 moves so far I like. The Smith move I love. I really like the Judon move. I like bringing back Dietrich Wise. And to go get a run-stopping defensive tackle, that was a thing that they needed to get also. If they got an 80% hit rate on this free agent class, I'll be happy with that. It's the Brady Farkas Show right here on WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEV radio.